All right, so today, for the first time, actually, I don't think I've ever shared a video from Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm sure many of you, if not all of you watching this, have uh, heard of him or heard some of the things that he's talked about. Uh, he's got a very interesting view on the African American culture, and how to preserve the African American culture. Some people agree, some people disagree. I agree with a lot of the things that he says, uh, and I guess I could leave it at that. I agree with a lot of things that he says. Not everything, but a lot of things that he says. Um, but this particular video that I'm sharing, he discusses uh, why African Americans need to invest in themselves. We need to invest in ourselves and our future, because nobody else is going to. And you've heard me say that on this channel plenty of times, right? So I wanted to share this quick video of him breaking it down, because he definitely does very well with breaking these types of conversations down. All right, so y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all pay attention. Uh, and yeah, definitely let me know what y'all think. It's Ricky Rich for Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
And so we're never going to get the funding from the white banks. We got to get the funding from each other. But I don't think that we have done enough. I'm going to be honest. I don't think we've done enough to go after wealthy blacks, to get them involved in this, because when you look at emerging technologies, that's not really considered radical right now, right? So we need to go after not just the billionaires, but we need to go after the millionaires, and we need to go after these multi-million-dollar black companies, where the owners may not be a millionaire, but they have millions in assets they can invest in as well. Black people are going to have to invest in themselves, or we're not going to win. Nobody's going to invest in us more than we're going to invest in ourselves, and this is the perfect time to do it. But with that being said, the everyday American African needs to change his priorities as well, because we can't keep spending $30 billion on hair. We can't keep spending $2 billion on Jordans.
Facts.
We can't keep spending $4 billion on liquor. We can't keep spending $13 billion on video games. We can't keep spending, what was it, $42 million on children's cologne?
Huh?
Like, look, yes, on children's cologne, not even the adults. So look at all the money, $66 million on Christmas. Look at all the money we waste. All that can be going into emerging technologies as well. And then we're going to have to build schools around emerging technology, because the mainstream public schools are not going to give that to our children, but the suburban ones will give it to the white kids.
Facts.
And that's a shame, because black kids love technology and don't know how to do any of it. As we sit here, half the black boys in the 4th grade can't read on their grade level, and half the black boys in America in the 8th grade can't count on their grade level. But they can't wait to get a video game. They can't wait to get a cell phone. But if you tie that to science, if you tie that to math, and they know that if I master this calculus, he gonna show me how to write my own video game. Oh, they're gonna get ace, because now you gave them a reason. The problem with America's public education, not to get off topic, but the problem with America's public education, it's not relevant to the learning. Black kids drop out because they don't see the relevancy. When you go to the suburbs, white kids see the relevancy, because they're being taught coding. They're getting the robotics. They're getting the STEM. They're getting the real estate courses. Our kids don't get none of that, and they wonder why they don't come to school. Because they know people with a high school degree who living on the street. So they understand just coming to this class does not necessarily mean I'm going to be able to pay my bills when I get on the outside.
I'm standing in front of the.
So this is, you know what? This should be the first video that y'all, if y'all don't watch anything else for all of 2025, make sure y'all watch this. Okay, January 1st, right now. Y'all watch this. This was pure facts. The 2 points that he made. To the first point, like I've always said, we got to invest in ourselves. Nobody else is going to invest in us. Okay. I will be sharing, hopefully later on this month, with at least definitely within the first quarter of this year. Um, the new Black Primacy app, where you can find and support your local Black entrepreneurs right at your fingertips. So y'all can download it now, but the version that's out now is an older version. It is the one that I am revamping and dropping, like I said, within the next few weeks to a month. Um, and that ties right into what he's saying. We need to invest in ourselves. We need to spend our money and our community, and that's the only way we're going to be able to see a change in the Black wealth. He broke down all of those billions, millions, multi millions of dollars that is leaving our Black pockets and going out into all of these other things that are just wasteful, right? And we're not, and one thing that we're not doing when we are spending this money, even the wasteful money, is we're not spending it with each other. uh and there are people out there that do, that the Black Primacy brand did very well this holiday season. So I thank you all if you're watching this and you supported and got a gift for your or someone this past holiday season. Much appreciated. That all helped out with where we are today with the app. The second thing that he talked about, which hit me hard when I first watched this, was this idea of learning, and how he mentions learning is or the schools. The problem with schools in the Black community is that it is not relevant to anything outside. And that was my biggest thing with school. Schooling was one of the hardest things that I uh, uh, did as a kid. And guess what? Took up most of our time. Right, was school. And the reason why, and I had always told people this as I got older, was the reason why it was so difficult to me is because it was boring. It wasn't relevant. I only succeeded in classes that weren't boring to me because I was able to associate them with things that I like to do. Right. I found myself doing very well in science classes. I found myself doing very well in computer classes. We what did we do back? We did Dreamweaver. It's like a like web design, website coding, sort of. I don't know if they call it coding back then, but I did very well in those types of classes. Computers, programming, obviously PE, sports related, anything sports related, I did very well in. Right. History, I did not do very. I didn't care what happened in 1492, so I didn't do well in history. Right. Not saying that it's not important. I'm just saying for me, I now if they would have had a class on history that, like Dr. Umar was explaining here, tied to something that I was interested in, right? Like this happened back then, uh, and it translates into where you're trying to go from, depending on my interest. My interest then at that time was graphic design, um, digital art. That was my thing back then. So tying that into digital art, and a lot of these, you got preparatory schools that these kids go to these days. They have like specialized programs that kids go into. I'm assuming based on their interest, right? And so you could, if it's done properly, you can tie things that happened in 1492 to where someone's trying to go when they get done with school. And so for me, this resonated heavily because it, I've all you know, for going all the way up through college and getting my master's is a bigger accomplishment than most people would think. Like most people think, oh, you get your degree, that's good. You get your master's, that's great. But for me personally, to do that with how my brain operates, um, is a much larger accomplishment. Just simply because I hated school growing up. The only thing that got me to go through school was when I finally uh, started tying my education to where I saw myself in the near future. That's the only way. That's the reason why this last portion of the video for me resonated so deeply, because that was the key thing that just unlocked my brain to be able to say, all right, I'm about to go ahead and knock out this school. I'm not just going to do my bachelor's. I'm going to go ahead and finish my master's, because I don't ever want to have to go back and do school again. I don't ever want to feel like I need to go back and do school again. And I felt like doing those things, which it did. School, none of the subjects in school meant anything to me. They didn't really teach me anything. I say out of all the classes I took, maybe 3 classes actually had real world value in terms of where I foresaw myself. But the main thing that I learned from school was just the idea of locking in and not giving up on on a project, on a business, on your career. If you're struggling trying to move up in your position at work or your career, like just that intentionality of like an aggression of getting the job done, which I clearly always had, but being able to uh, finishing school unlocked that for me in terms of like, if I can do this in school, I can, for the thing that's been the hardest my entire life, I can do anything. And so I do, as much as I don't like to give credit to college for where I'm at today, I will say that one thing is something that fueled where I am today. That one idea pulled from school. None of the classes meant anything. None of the money spent college. Outside of that, college would have been a waste of time for me. Um, and I would have never been able to finish if I was not able to, again, tie it to where I saw myself being in the near future after. And so to me, raising, when I start raising kids, that is where I'm going to, hopefully be able to focus. I will focus on, but hopefully I'll be able to do it in the way that I envision doing it. Things are always different when you get to that point, right? But um, that's how I envision raising my kids, is being able to show them, teach them in a way that best suits them. The biggest problem with the schooling system today is that it is like a one size fits all, and you got all these different experiences and personalities, especially within the Black community. We are the way we are raised, and the environment that we are raised is so different uh, than that of the way that the school system is built, for those that the school system is built. So we can never, that like he said, that's what makes it so much harder for us in a regular school system, because it's not designed for those who come from the type of backgrounds that we do. And so, I've seen a lot of teachers, especially teachers in certain, uh, in our demographic areas, on social media and stuff like that, that they really find a way to make the class interesting, and that is excellent, and I applaud the teachers for that. Um, it just needs to happen on a bigger scale, you know. And again, going back to the main topic of this video, we need to invest in ourselves. That's the only way that we are ever going to be able to get anything done, whether it be better programs in schools or just a helping close the racial wealth gap. Regardless, the only way we're going to get it done is investing in ourselves. We need to do it ourselves. Waiting on other groups, other entities to do that's not going to be the way. All right. So y'all take this first video 2025. Y'all take this. Y'all make sure y'all pay attention. Y'all make sure you write down the notes. Y'all leave a comment. Y'all let me know what y'all think. All right. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.